What's going on, everyone? JJ Zachariason here for a Week 13 fantasy football Q&A. Hope everyone is ready for the fantasy playoffs because they begin in most leagues next week. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, not a ton of news this week, so I'm just going to get right to it. We got the first question from Garrett. Full PPR, Alvin Kamara or Antonio Gibson? Yeah, I mean, I think we're at the point now, given the fact that, Latavius Murray is seeing basically the same amount of work on the ground as Alvin Kamara is, but without the receiving workload. Kamara's not seeing the receiving workload anymore with Taysom Hill, so I think you got to go with Antonio Gibson even in a tough spot. Tannehill or Taysom Hill? I'm going to lean Tannehill. I really like that matchup against Cleveland. Pick 2, Antonio Gibson, Deontay Johnson in a tough matchup. They both have tough matchups. Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, easier matchup. Thanks, JJ. I'm still going to go with the first two, even though I really like Michael Pittman. I talked about him on my podcast this week a good bit. Sorry, I just lost my spot. Talked about him on my podcast a good bit this week. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is sort of a sneaky GPP play over on FanDuel this week, given a lot of people are going to be spending on Booker and Montgomery, and Jonathan Taylor is sort of right there in the price range. But even still, I'm going to go Antonio Gibson and Deontay Johnson. Start DJ Chark over Cooks/Debo, and dare I say Hopkins. Call me crazy. I'm not going to call you crazy because I really like DJ Chark today against Minnesota. Would I play him over Cooks? Probably not. Would I play him over Debo? I mean, I think you can make the argument for sure over Debo. Cooks, I'm just saying that because he should see a ton of work in that offense. And in a PPR league, I think that alone will give him a floor. I wouldn't play him over Hopkins. I understand the Ramsey matchup, but I don't even know if he's going to shadow him. I think that of those, it would be Debo who I would play him over. So it's up to you. If you really like Chark this week, which I do, I think it's fine. Pick 1 in full PPR, Sammy Watkins, Kiki QT, Marquise Brown. I'm going to go with Kiki QT because he should see some work in that offense and what could be a negative game script. Kareem Hunt or Nyheim Hines. I'm going to lean Kareem Hunt there. Taysom Hill or Ryan Tannehill. I already answered that one. I'm going with Tannehill. Pick 2.5 PPR. Brandon Cooks, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson. Thanks, JJ. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson there. I need the most upside today, facing a juggernaut for a spot in the playoffs. Pick 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. Dobbins, Gibson, Booker, Taylor, White, Snell, Chark, or Juju. Wide receiver, I'm going to go Chark. Running backs, I am going to go with Dobbins and Gibson, I believe. And then for my flex, I'm probably going to go Booker. That's the direction I'll go. Full PPR start 2, Cole Beasley, Sterling Shepard, Sammy Watkins, James White, Frank Gore. I don't mind Beasley's matchup too much this week necessarily. I'd probably go with him and Shep, but I do think Gore has the safest floor. But since it's full PPR, I'm going with the wide receivers. Need flex help, highest ceiling, playing Aguilar. Who would you bench out of Lamb, T. Higgins, or Robert Tonyan? I mean, all three of these guys are sort of in this bucket of who knows what's going to happen in a week in and week out. I think that you can still go with T. Higgins. I would probably bench the tight end. I would probably bench Tonyan, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's the one who scores the most out of those three. Renfro, Hilton, or Crowder in half PPR. I'm going with Hilton. I don't mind Hilton at all against a really, really bad Texans secondary that no longer has Roby. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Debo or Michael Thomas? Yeah, I mean, look, I think that you can make the argument for Debo. Michael Thomas is likely ranked ahead of him, so I probably would say Michael Thomas, but I understand if you in your gut feel like you want to go with Debo, go for it. Gibson or Gaskin in half PPR. This is a good one. I really like Gaskin today. I think you still have to go with Gibson given the way that he's playing. I would go Gibson even though the matchup is a lot worse, but I love Gaskin today. I think, over on FanDuel in particular, where he's $5,500, a lot of people are going to be using Booker and Montgomery. I think Gaskin's the best play of those three straight up. Hurst or Hooper in half PPR. I'm going to go with Hooper. What's up, JJ? Love the pod. Thanks. Claypool, Cooper, Hines, Myers, and T. Higgins, PPR pick 2. I'm going to go with Claypool and Cooper. Pick 2.5 PPR, Michael Thomas, Debo, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins. I guess I'm going to go with Thomas and Dobbins. Hawks or the Packers defense. I will go with the Packers defense. Flex and standard, Dobbins, Gaskin, or Claypool. I will go with Gaskin of those three, but I think that it's close between, all of them, honestly. But if it's a standard league, I'm going to go with Gaskin. Full PPR, pick 1, T. Higgins, Kiki QT, Gabriel Davis, or Josh Reynolds. I am going to go with Kiki QT since it's a PPR league. Pick 1, Jarvis, Chark, or Cooks. I will go with Cooks, but I'm very close to saying, honestly, any of them. I'll say Cooks. I think he's safest, but I think Chark is right there for upside. Ertz or Rudolph. I'm going to go with Rudolph because Zach Ertz is not very good anymore. Full point PPR, Miles Sanders or J.K. Dobbins. I'm going with Miles Sanders. I like Miles Sanders today. Really good matchup against Green Bay. I know that he burned you last week, but his peripherals are still strong. I'm going to go with Miles Sanders and hope that Jordan Howard, who is elevated, doesn't end up stealing any goal line work. Pick 2 non-PPR, Gaskin, Zeke, Julio, and Dobbins. I am going to go with, I guess, Gaskins and Julio. Miles, I'm going to go with Gaskin and Julio. I really am close to starting Dobbins there, though. Gabriel Davis or Tyler Boyd in PPR. I think that you can go with Gabriel Davis because there's a little bit more upside there. Plus, you have Gio, you said. What combo would you go with in DFS? Henry or Chark or Dalvin and Jarvis? I'm going to go with Henry and Chark. Gio or Frank Gore? I'm going to go Frank Gore. Half PPR, 3 out of 5 running backs. Booker, CEH, Gaskin, Kenyon Drake, Damian Harris. I'm going to go with Booker, Gaskin, and CEH. But do have a backup plan. Pick up Darrell Williams if you have CEH, which I do in a couple leagues, because he might not go because he's sick. PPR, Aguilar or James White for my flex. I'm going to go with Aguilar. Who should I start at tight end in half PPR? Kyle Rudolph, Jordan Reed, Jordan Akins, or Anthony Ferkser. I will go with Rudolph, but I think that Akins and Ferkser are close. A little bit iffy on Reed. RB2 in the flex, PPR, Gaskin, Gallman, Gore, Latavius Murray. RB1 is Miles Sanders, and QB is Taysom. I'm going to go with Gaskin, and I'll probably go with, I guess, Gallman. Jordan Reed or Hayden Hurst. I'm going Hayden Hurst. Half PPR, Corey Davis or Sterling Shepard. I will go with Corey Davis because Colt McCoy is playing. 2 out of Mostert, Zeke, Antonio Gibson in half. I think of those, I'm probably benching Zeke. Flex 2 from James White, Devin Actually, I might go with Zeke and Gibson. Flex 2 from James White, Devin Singletary, Cam Akers, Kiki Cutie. Look, if it's a PPR league, which is really important for a question like this, I'm going to go with Akers and Cutie. Or actually, I'm going to go with White and Cutie. If it's a standard, I might go with White and Akers. Standard scoring, Mostert or Booker. I'm going with Booker. Hey, JJ, Snell or Chark in half PPR. I will go with Chark. Damian Harris or Devontae Booker in PPR. I'm going with Devontae Booker. Trubisky or wait to see with Lamar. I think Lamar is going to go, so I would just play him. Need 2.5 point. Kupp, Gaskin, Gallman, Juju, Drake. I love Cooper Kupp this week. Arizona hasn't been very good against the slot. This game has a lot of pace to it. Both Arizona and the Rams run at a fairly fast pace. So I really like Cooper Kupp, and I'm going to go with Gaskin with the other spot. Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. I have the exact same situation in one of my leagues. I am going with Josh Allen. Mostert or Edwards-Helaire. I would just wait to see if CEH plays. If he goes and there's no restriction that we get report-wise, go with CEH. If not, go with Mostert because they play later. Gio or McKissick in full PPR. I can make the argument for McKissick for sure, but I think Gio's a little bit safer. Goddard or Ingram, I'm going Goddard. Standard, need a running back, Devontae Booker or Damian Harris. I'm going Devontae Booker. Benny Snell or Damian in the flex spot. I am going with Benny Snell. Josh Allen or Taysom Hill. I'm going with Josh Allen. Thanks for all the advice each week. Don't laugh at my choices for second wide receiver. Pittman, Corey Davis, Gabe Davis. Those aren't bad options. I don't think they're terrible options. I would go with Pittman, though. I really like his matchup this week. He saw 9 targets last week, only converted 2 of them, but he's in a really good spot. Cousins or Lamar Jackson. I am going to go with, I might go with Cousins to play it safe. If you're a favorite, I would just play Cousins because technically we don't know for sure if Lamar Jackson is going to go or not. But yeah, so I would probably lean that way. If you need upside, I think Lamar has a little bit more upside, but Cousins is a really safe play. Seahawks or the Saints defense, no strong preference for me, but I'd probably lean Seattle. Snell or Lazard in a touchdown-only league, I would probably go Snell. Full PPR, Aguilar or Shepard. I would go with Shepard for floor, Aguilar for ceiling. Jonathan Taylor or Myles Gaskin. I'm going to go with Myles Gaskin, but I do like Taylor this week. Tyler Boyd or Corey Davis. I'm going to go Corey Davis. Kareem Hunt or David Johnson. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt just because I don't know exactly how they're going to utilize David Johnson. Top 2 PPR, or I guess you need 2 in PPR. Jefferson, Ridley, McLaurin, Debo. Those are very good options. I'm going to go with hard to bench McLaurin, and I would probably go with Ridley. But I mean, my goodness, Debo to me is not in the same tier as the other 3. But if you have to pick 2 of those 3, that's rough. Tough situation in my Superflex. Wentz, Trubisky, and Colt McCoy. Pick 2. I'm going to bench McCoy. Claypool or Pittman in PPR. I'm going to go with Claypool. Half PPR, Miles Sanders or Devontae Booker. I'm going with, I guess I'm going to go with Booker. I think he's a little bit safer, but Miles Sanders to me is a very good play this week. It sucks. If Miles Sanders didn't have that game that he had last week and the Eagles didn't look as incompetent as they looked last week, I would easily be going Miles Sanders right now. Taysom Hill or Ryan Tannehill, thanks. I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill. I like him a lot today. Rank Herbert, Tannehill, Cousins, and Trubisky today. I will rank them in that order, actually. Half PPR, pick 2, Aguilar, Gio, Perriman, T. Higgins. I will go with, I guess, Aguilar and Gio from a floor standpoint, but I can make the case for Perriman. PPR, David Johnson, Booker, or Juju. Please help. I'm going to go with Booker of those 3. Hi, JJ. Thanks for doing this. Raiders defense or the Saints defense? Let's see. I will go with the Saints defense. Half PPR, pick 2, J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel, Michael Thomas. I am going to go, just lost my spot. I don't even remember who the 4 were. Now I have to stare at it. Yeah, I'm going to have to jump back up. Sorry about that. Let's see. Gore over Hunt or David Johnson over Hunt. I think I would play Hunt over both. CEH Boyd or Snell or Gore. Full PPR. I would go with CEH, and if he doesn't go, you can play Benny Snell. Love the pod. Looking to get ahead of the game, JJ. Week 14 streamers. Guys, I haven't even remotely thought about Week 14 in enough depth to answer it on the show. Sorry. Hey, JJ, win and in situation today. One final half PPR flex spot to fill. Options are Damian Harris, Kerryon Johnson, Marquise Brown, or Dallas Goedert. I am going to go with Damian Harris there. Lamb or Mims in half point. I would go with Mims. I really like Mims' matchup this week. Seeing a ton of air yards, seeing a really high target share in that offense. I think Mims is the play. Let's see. Flex, half PPR, Landry, Devontae Booker, Wayne Gallman. I'm going to go with Devontae Booker. Kansas City defense or the Pitt defense. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh defense. Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen for quarterback. I'm going to go with Josh Allen. Pick 2 non-PPR, Hunt, Gallman, Montgomery, Snell. I am going to go with Montgomery for sure. I love David Montgomery today, which I never thought I would say. And I would probably go with Gallman, but I think that you can play Snell. It just depends. I'd go Montgomery and Snell, more I'm thinking about it. Landry or Devontae Parker with Tua starting. I'm probably going to go with Landry. Ridley or Sanders. I'm going to go with Ridley. I plan to start Phillip Rivers today. Nice. Over Russell Wilson. I don't know if I would do that, but I understand wanting to go Phillip Rivers against that really bad Texans secondary. He's one of my favorite streamers this week. Would I play him over Russell Wilson? Probably not. Everett or Hollister in PPR. You're throwing darts there, so I have no strong opinion either way. Zeke or Drake in PPR flex. I'd probably go Zeke. Thanks for all the work, JJ. No problem. Love the pod. I appreciate you. Ayuk or Reynolds in full PPR. I'm probably going to go Ayuk, but I don't really mind Reynolds as a deeper play. Eckler or Gaskin, if it's a PPR, regardless, I'm going with Eckler. Half point PPR, flex pick, Damian Harris, Pittman, T. Higgins. Very close to saying Pittman here, but I think Damian Harris is a little bit safer. Darnold or Dalton. I might go with Pittman, actually, in the other one, just to be a little bit bold. Darnold or Dalton, 2 quarterback, 6 point per touchdown. I guess I'm going to go with Andy Dalton. Maybe I'm not. I'm not against Baltimore. I'm going to go Darnold. Gesicki or Burton in 12 team PPR. I don't know why it says 12 team. Let me know that that's the size of your league. I'm going to go with Mike Gesicki. Hurst or Akins in PPR. I'm still going with Hurst. T. Higgins or Cooper Kupp. Definitely Cooper Kupp. Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson. Definitely Aaron Rodgers. Gesicki, Reed, or Dalton Schultz. I guess Gesicki. Frank Gore, Latavius Murray. I'm going to go with Latavius Murray, but I don't mind Frank Gore. He's probably a little bit safer. Pick 2 in standard, Gibson, Miles Sanders, Taylor, or Booker. In standard, I'm going to go with Booker and Gibson. Full PPR, Jacoby Myers, Sterling Shepard, or Denzel Mims. As much as I want to say Mims there, I might go with Myers, but Mims might be the play of those guys. You know what? Go with Mims, Jason. Hey, JJ, thanks for all the help. In PPR, you can pick 2 of these running backs, Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, Snell, Drake, or Dobbins. Thanks. I'm going to go with Sanders and Dobbins. Akins or Ertz. I'm going to go with Akins. I don't think that we can trust Ertz just right away. Taysom Hill or Matt Ryan. I'm going to go with Taysom Hill. Nelson Aguilar or Gabriel Davis. I think I'd go Nelson Aguilar. What are your 2 favorite low-end wide receivers in DFS today? Good question. Denzel Mims is $5,500. I really like him. One punt that you could go to. Obviously, Kiki QT's $4,800. But Adam Humphries is kind of intriguing to me. You have a higher scoring game against Cleveland that Tennessee has. He's back in that lineup. And Humphries plays a slot. And Cleveland has been terrible against the slot this year. So do I think that he's like this GPP winning play? Probably not. Is he a cheap play that you could go to? Sure. Another guy, Andy Isabella, who should get some run with Larry Fitzgerald still on the mend with coronavirus. Need 2 PPR, Fulgham, Mims, Perriman, Renfro. I'm going to go, you can't go with 2 Jets wide receivers, so I guess I'm going to go with Fulgham and Mims. PPR flex, pick one, Ayuk, Snell, QT, or Gabriel Davis. I'm going to go with Benny Snell. It doesn't sound like James Conner is going to play, which is why I keep mentioning Benny Snell. Pick 2, full PPR, CEH, Gaskin, or Kareem Hunt. I'm going to go with the first 2. Drake or McLaurin. I'm going to go with McLaurin. Playing for a first-round bye, David Johnson or Devontae Booker. I'm going with Devontae Booker. Who do I start in the flex? Full PPR, Jonathan Taylor or Claypool. Full PPR, I'd probably go Claypool, but I do like Jonathan Taylor a lot today. You know, if we knew for sure he was going to see the workload that he saw last game, Jonathan Taylor would easily be the answer here. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. If you're confident that he's going to see the rock, then definitely plug Jonathan Taylor into your lineup. It's a good matchup too. So I'm fine if you want to go with Taylor. Murray or Herbert, I'm going to go with Murray. Sorry, I meant Hunt or Booker. I don't know what that's referring to. Need running back, tight end, and flex. Half PPR, CEH, David Johnson, Dobbins, Goddard, Ingram, Landry. Okay, so tight end, I'm going to go with Goddard. A running back, I'm going to go with CEH, but if he doesn't go, I'd go Dobbins. I would play both CEH and Dobbins, though. I need 2 running back, and I would go with both, yeah. I need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex. That's too many to go through in my head right now. So if you can hit me up on Twitter at LateRoundQB, I'll try to answer it after this. Rams or the Seahawks defense? I'm going to go with the Seahawks defense. Half PPR, Chark or Higgins? I'm going with Chark. Need 2 in PPR, CEH, Booker, Devontae Parker. I'm going to bench Devontae Parker. 2 of JT, Hines, and Gio. I guess you start both Colts running backs. Half PPR, Deontay Johnson or Devontae Booker. I think Booker's safer. I'd probably go with him. Full PPR, pick 2, CEH, Dobbins, Drake. Thanks, JJ. I'm going to go with the first 2. Standard wide receiver 1. Look, if you don't want to risk CEH, all of these answers. If you don't want to risk CEH, because I had a question earlier, Dobbins and CEH, and you need 2 out of 3, let's say. There was one earlier that needed Jarvis Landry. You could use Jarvis Landry and then play either CEH or Dobbins, depending on CEH's status. And you can do the same thing here. Just play Drake and then choose either CEH or Dobbins depending on his status. So that's the safer play, but I think overall CEH and Dobbins are better plays than Drake. Standard wide receiver 1, Julio Jones or Michael Thomas. I'm going to go with Julio. Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson. Probably Russell Wilson. Pick 2, full PPR, CEH, Gaskin, or Kareem Hunt. Going with the first 2. Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson. Answered that one earlier. I'm going Aaron Rodgers. David Montgomery or Nick Chubb. I'm going Nick Chubb. Trubisky or Taysom Hill. I'm going Taysom Hill. Bench Kyler for Carr. No. Higgins, Deontay, or Claypool in full PPR. I think Deontay is probably the play. Niners defense playable this week. They're iffy. I mean, they're obviously healthier. They looked good last week, but it's not the best matchup in the world. I need a second flex. Marvin, Watkins, Hilton, or Mims in full PPR. I mean, I don't love Marvin's matchup. Don't love Watkins in general. So this comes down to Hilton or Mims. I think Mims is safer. He's seeing more volume. He'll see a higher target share, but Hilton has the better matchup. So I'm going to go with Mims as a safer play. Hilton has more of a ceiling play. I'm probably going to go with Mims, though. Vikings or Bills? I'm going Vikings. Hi, JJ, PPR, Gesicki, Reed, or Schultz. I already answered that one. I'm going Gesicki. Watson or Cousins? I'm still going to go with Watson. Wide receiver 3 spot. T.Y. Hilton, Lazard, or Rager. Love the podcast. I'm going to go with T.Y. Hilton, but I like Lazard a lot. I talked about him on the podcast this week. And then Jalen Rager's not a bad deep play either. So I get this question. I would go T.Y. Hilton, though. Hey, JJ, full PPR, pick 1, Mostert, Hunt, or Jonathan Taylor. I really want to say Jonathan Taylor here. I think I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor here. JJ Taylor or Gaskins, LIS, baby. I don't know what this means. Are you saying JJ, Taylor, or Gaskins? Come on, guys. We can use some punctuation here. I'm going to go with Gaskins over Jonathan Taylor. Nobody is talking about Cam Akers and DFS. Good low-end RB today. I mean, I don't think so because he's not seeing any receiving work, and I like to use running backs who catch passes out of the backfield, so that's the big knock against Akers. Not only that, he's still seeing similar workload to Darrell Henderson. Dobbins, I mean, obviously he can have a good game. He can find the end zone, but he's not someone that the process says to definitely play. Dobbins or Gio or Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to go Dobbins of those 3. Cooper or Lazard in touchdown only. Probably go with Cooper. Kupp or Cooks at wide receiver. I'm going with Kupp. I like Kupp a little bit more than Cooks. Seattle or Baltimore. I'm going to go with Baltimore. Gaskins, Gibson, or Cup, full PPR. I will go with, man, this is rough. I guess Cup if it's full PPR, but Gibson's probably the safest play. Need one PPR flex from QT, Geo, Edmonds, Rager, Crowder, Judy. Thanks. I will go with QT there. Pick 2 in standard: Gibson, Miles Sanders, Taylor, or Booker. I'm going to go with Gibson and probably Booker, but I think Sanders is close. Morning, JJ. I think Taylor's close too. Morning, JJ. Now it's the afternoon. Cam Newton or Drew Lock with 6 points passing touchdown. I'm going to go with Cam Newton, I guess. Pick 2 non-PPR: Gaskin, David Johnson, Gurley, Montgomery. I am going to go with Gaskin and Montgomery. CEH or Snell in full PPR. Again, I would go with CEH straight up if we know that he's going to play, but luckily you can wait because the Steelers play on Monday night, so I'm going to wait. I would play CEH if he's active, but if not, just play Benny Snell. Julio Jones or Chase Claypool. I'm going Julio. Pick 2 in standard: Devontae Parker, Deontay Johnson, Deebo Samuel. Probably the latter two. I just don't like Parker as much with Tua. Ryan Tannehill, Justin Herbert, or Deshaun Watson. I really like all three. I'd probably play Watson even without Fuller. There's a lot of risk there because of his splits with and without Fuller. So if you want to play it safe, I think the safest play might be Tannehill of these three because of the game environment. But Watson has the most upside because of what he can do with his legs. Terry McLaurin or CEH. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin. Seahawks or the Ravens. Already answered that one. I love that it says PPR, like these defenses are catching passes, but I'm going to go with the Ravens. Goddard or Hawkinson. I'm going to go with Hawk. Antonio Gibson, DJ Chark, Debo, or J.K. Dobbins. If this is a standard league, I'm going Gibson. Probably going Gibson regardless. Need a ceiling play in the flex and half PPR: T. Higgins, Mims, Perriman, Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams, or one of the Raiders wide receivers. I think Mims might be the play there. Probably go with Mims. Start Robert Woods or Julio Jones. I'm probably going Julio, but it's very close. Dobbins, Zeke, or Jonathan Taylor in full PPR. Man, that's really rough too. I might go with Dobbins. Dart throw standard league: Akers, Hollywood, Moss, Lazard, TY, or Fulgham. Dart throw, I'm going to go with Lazard. TY is pretty close though. Have Dobbins, JT, Gaskins, Mostert. This is way too many. This is way too many guys. You need 6. I don't know how to do this off the top of my head. PPR pick 2: Dobbins, Booker, or Gaskin. I will go with Dobbins and Gaskin. Trubisky or Ryan. I'm going to go with Ryan. Cooper or Chark. I think I might go with Chark. CEH or Snell or Ayuk. Again, I'm going to go with CEH, but if he doesn't go, then you can play Snell. 3 backs in the optimal lineup. I think going 3 backs is, I do that in 95% of my lineups on FanDuel. First week of my playoffs, non-PPR: Lockett, McLaurin, or Lazard. I'm going McLaurin. DK is my wide receiver 1 and Rodgers is my quarterback. Yeah, I'm going with McLaurin there. 2 to start: Devontae Parker, David Johnson, Montgomery. I'm going with Montgomery for sure. David Johnson's kind of tough to trust, so I might go with Parker there. Tua or Dalton. I'd go Tua. Geo or Akers. I think I'd go with Geo just for volume alone, but don't love that. Pick 2: Deontay, Claypool, Gibson, half PPR. I'm going Deontay and Gibson. Gore, Gordon, or Hines. Need a running back 2 in the flex. I'm going to go with Gore and Hines. Gesicki or Hayden Hurst. I'm going to go with Hayden Hurst. Tanny or Cousins. I'm going Tannehill. Pick 1: Tunyon, Akins, or Hooper. I'm going to go with Hooper of those 3. And then should you go with Claypool, Boyd, or James White? I'm going Claypool. I need 3.5 PPR out of Miles, Gibson, Mostert, and Zeke. Who would you bench? Probably Mostert. Carr, Rivers, or Trubisky. I am going to go with Rivers there. Ridley, McLaurin, or Metcalf. Got to play Metcalf. Metcalf's a beast. Antonio Gibson or Raheem Mostert. PPR, I'm nervous. Thanks for everything you do. I'd go with Gibson. I'm in the playoffs. I have Mark Andrews. That sucks. Is it time to drop Jonnu Smith, especially with the goose eggs and Idri? If you have to drop Jonnu, I think it's fine enough. The tight end position sucks in general. So he has some value because he finds the end zone a decent bit. But yeah, if you got to drop Jonnu, that's fine. Tunyon or Fant in PPR. I'd probably go with Noah Fant and hope for the best. Half PPR: Rudolph or Hurst. I'm going to go with Rudolph. Lamar or Taysom. I'm going to go with Lamar. Gallman, Snell, full PPR. I'm going to go with Snell. Half PPR: need points and a win for the playoffs: Chark, QT, or Beasley in the flex. I'm going with Chark. Standard: McLaurin or Robinson. Is that Allen Robinson or James Robinson? I'm assuming it's Allen Robinson. I love A-Rob today, but it'd be tough to bench McLaurin. Miles Sanders or Ridley in half PPR. I'm going with Ridley. Murray or Rodgers. I'm going with Rodgers. Claypool or Chark. I think I would go with Chark. Des Bryant or Russell Gage. You're taking a dart and you're throwing it at the wall and you're seeing which one it hits out of Russell Gage or Des Bryant. I have no idea. I guess I'd go with Des with the revenge game. It's a little bit more fun. You get to sweat Tuesday. But yeah, I don't have a strong opinion there. Hines, Gordon, or Gore in standard. I think I'd go with Gore. Half point, Judy, MG3, or Myers. I'd probably go with Myers. Jacoby or Shepard. I'm probably going with Shep. Boston Scott or Gio Bernard. I'm going Gio Bernard. Fursker or Reed in full PPR. I think I'd go with Anthony Fursker. Appreciate the effort on the 6. I know it was a lot. Thanks for what you do. Sorry, John. Yeah, it was really I can't think that quickly off the top of my head. Concerned about Snell with Jalen Samuels back? No. Saints defense or the Bears defense? I think I go with the Bears. I think they're a little bit safer. Hey, JJ, thanks for tuning in. I might have missed your answer, but half PPR need 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Parker, Cooper, Latavius Murray, Kenyon Drake. This one's tough. I'd probably go with Parker still, and then I'd probably go with Drake. Kirk Cousins or Josh Allen in 6-point touchdown. I'd go with Josh Allen, I think, but I like Kirk Cousins today. JJ, you the best. Thanks. In non-PPR, Mostert, Dobbins, Booker, or Taylor need 2. I would go with probably Booker and Dobbins. Also, whenever you guys say you the best and then I have to read it, I always feel really uncomfortable. Gesicki, Ingram, Goddard. I'm going to go with Goddard. Mostert or Gaskin in the standard league. I'm going to go with Gaskin. Cam or Carr. I'd probably go with Cam. PPR, Claypool, Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Antonio Gibson need to bench 1. I would probably bench Taylor, but I think that you can bench Claypool if you want. Sit 1, Lockett, McLaurin, and CEH. I will sit. Oh, man. I think you have to just play Lockett in case CEH doesn't go. So I would just go Lockett and McLaurin, especially if it's a PPR league. Diggs or Lockett, I'm going Diggs. Tyler Lockett has not been very good. Anyone who has Tyler Lockett knows this, but he has not been very good basically since week 3 or so. He's had some really spiked games, but otherwise not a very consistent asset, not someone that you can easily trust. But I don't mind him today. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that he's not this like locked in guy. Pick 2, CEH, Latavius, Hunt. Love Living the Stream. I'm sorry that you have to listen to Living the Stream because it's a crazy podcast. CEH, Latavius, or Hunt. I'm going with CEH and Hunt. Ferkser or Reed. I already answered that one. I answered all that. Let's see. Cousins or Jackson. I'm going to go with Jackson. PPR need 1, Amari Cooper, Lazard, or Juju. I'm going with Cooper. Sit 1, Gaskin, Booker, Taylor, or Sanders. This is very, very difficult. I guess the answer is Taylor, but I can understand if you want to go in literally any other direction. Need 2.5 PPR, Landry, Parker, Claypool. I'm probably going Landry, and I'm probably playing Parker over Claypool, but I think you can make the argument for Claypool. Michael Pittman or Nelson Aguilar. I'm going with Michael Pittman. Deontay, Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor, pick 2. I'm going with Dobbins and Deontay. Corey Davis or David Johnson. Look, I just don't know what to expect from David Johnson today. So if it's a PPR league, I'm going Corey Davis. Taysom Hill or Big Ben. I think Hill has the safer floor, but Ben probably has the ceiling. I'd probably go with Ben there. Tyler Lockett, not a locked in guy. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Corey Davis or Beasley. I'm going Corey Davis. Sanders or Ridley. I'm going Ridley. Claypool or Judy. I'm going Claypool. Worth sitting Lockett and starting McLaurin and CEH if Snell would be my CEH backup in case he's out. I don't really love CEH that much more than Lockett, I would say. So I don't think it's that necessary, but it depends. You know, if you're, I think Lockett's the guy that you would play if you're a big underdog. Let's go with that. Sit 1 PPR, Julio, Hines, Hunt. Thank you. I would bench Hines probably. Need a flex, Gore or Gordon. I'd probably go with Gore. JJ, I'm desperate. Zach Moss or Cam Akers. I think I'm leaning Cam Akers there. Rank them or at least pick 2. Gibson, Gaskin. Those are your 2. Those are your 2. Seahawks or the Bills defense. I'm going with the Seahawks defense. Gesicki or Logan Thomas. Probably Gesicki, but I think it's close. Chark, Pittman, or Deontay Johnson. These are like my children. I'm probably going to say Deontay for floor, Chark for ceiling. I just love Chark today. Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins. I'm going with Russell Wilson. I got one more to answer. Julio Jones or Cooper Kupp. Of course, this is a really tough one. I really like Cooper Kupp today. So I actually am going to say Cooper Kupp. Julio coming off that injury, not the greatest matchup in the world. He's the higher variance play, but I really like Cooper Kupp. I might be wrong with this, but I'm going to run with it. That's it, though. I got to go. I got to drink some water. My throat I'm talking for a half hour. I got to get some water and get this less dry. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Big thanks to Calvin Theobald, the producer here at FanDuel, who is always very, very helpful. Otherwise, guys, good luck in week 13, and I will talk to you next week.